All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Monday, it's June 1st. Oh, happy June, everybody. So we got episode 68 of Bonfire Sports, Madison. Got a packed episode this week, looking at some sports coming back. The first thing I want to address, real quick is obviously there's been a lot of stuff going on in the media and everything, and, the news and just the whole George Floyd situation. I just, want to send my condolences to, obviously him. That was a tragedy. It was undeserved and should have never happened. Send condolences to his family and just, there's things in this country, problems that need addressed. This show's supposed to be about, keeping everything upbeat and positive. And while there's a bunch of bad things going on in the world, we're supposed to be somewhere you can go to laugh, have a good time, and get away from all that. So we're not going to, talk about it for a real long time. But we just wanted to say, obviously give our condolences for that. And that's what I wanted to start the show off with, Matt.
Yeah, well, it was a good thing, Peyton.
Yeah.
That, thoughts and prayers to, T's and P's to George Floyd and everyone, that's involved in this, tragedy. And so let's just hope that we can all overcome this and we can, get back to, being with one another and just enjoying sports.
Absolutely. So, all right, Matt, let's kick things off. First thing I want to get into is the baseball situation for me is probably the most frustrating thing that I've had to deal with in the sports world since all this has started because, what are you fucking doing? You know what I mean? Just come to an agreement. And the thing is, and I will say this, hand up, it's on me. I have harped at the players and I'm not talking about that Blake Snell guy. Fuck him, for being oh, I'm risking my life. I don't want to hear that. But I'm saying the owners have been a lot more devious in all this. And they're not allowing the Players Association to see what they're going to be losing. So they're wanting the players to keep taking cuts, but the players have no idea how much the owners are projected to lose. You know what I mean? So That's what there needs to be an agreement came to. But right now I'm more mad at the owners and Rob Manfred. Obviously, I think he's the dumbest commissioner in all of sports. So really pisses me off.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. And what was it? A couple of days ago, we were like, hey, baseball's about to come back up. All they got to do is just sign. All the players got to do is just sign. And sure enough, and dude, not only is this, going to hurt the season, man, but, I think we kind of touched base on this. This was probably around this time last year when we was talking about it. It's like baseball, it's America's pastime, but, it's one of those sports that it's kind of like a dying sport.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, the home runs and stuff that came from last year, helps it out because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
So, I think, man, if they don't get something done by this year or something don't happen, I don't think it just affects this year. I think it affects the future of the MLB, man.
Yeah, because you're not only are you looking at losing the money, but at the same time, you're looking at losing a generation of fans. You know what I mean? Because it's gotten to the point, and it's sad to say, but it's been so long without sports that it's becoming more normal. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, when everything comes back, I'm going to be fucking excited. I'm going to be pumped. But say, hockey playoffs come back, NBA playoffs come back, football starting up. No one's going to miss baseball. You know what I mean? If anything, baseball was the one that needed more attention. They should have been the first ones back to be hey, we're the only sport on. Come watch us and fall in love with baseball again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to get the whole country back on the same page with loving baseball, and they dropped the ball again. And this is what kills me about them because, obviously I love baseball, but they're never going to thrive and succeed with their the way that things are being operated right now. Right. Rob Manfred's a dumbass is basically what it means.
He is for sure, and even I thought they would be one of the first back just because they're an outside sport. You would think no one can take inside. Yes, all the space you got. Good Lord. Everyone out on there is spread out besides the catcher and the hitter.
Yeah, the batter's box is the only situation on the field where anybody's within 6 feet.
Yeah, and so I thought that would be one of the first things that come back. Even with no fans, it's just you're out in the open. You're not contained inside one arena, one area. Yeah. So for them to drop this, man, that just sucks.
Oh yeah, it does, dude. And just as true blue baseball guys, it just. Which I guess we're sports guys in general. I don't know of a sport that I don't like, but you know what I mean? I want to see things improve for them. And this goes back, and I've harped on it probably 10 times on over the course of since we've been starting this podcast. But their marketing team is just so bad. like Madison, like I was looking the other day, like this is, I'm getting off on a tangent now, but just this will be real quick. The NFL has like 40 million followers on Twitter. NBA, 35 million, close behind, which I think everybody would expect. The MLB has 8 million followers on Twitter. That is a quarter of the other two leagues. You know what I mean? For the major sports, like.
And I don't even know if I follow them.
I don't think I do either.
I don't even know. I don't think I do.
Which is what's crazy is because like my biggest problem with the MLB is they don't allow their content to be shareable, right? Like unless it has that MLB tag on it. Like if you don't, like if I was to record a home run on my TV and post it, and then they put copyrights on it and then make me take it down off of everything, and that hurts the growth of the game because that's more people that could see it. Not saying I have this huge Twitter following, but there's at least 1,500 people that would probably see that video because I put it out. You know what I mean? That because obviously not everybody's following the MLB's page, and it's just stupid shit like that is why they're so poorly operated. I just hope, man, they can't afford not to play this year. Yeah.
They can't, man. And like I said, I think it wouldn't just hurt it for this year. I think it would it'd be really hard for them to start back up and for the future, just because not only for the pandemic, but even before, even minor leagues. Even before last year, dude. Ticket sales were already down.
Yeah.
And, there were some franchises that was barely even making any money.
Dude, have the Rays sold a ticket in the last 2 years? Honestly, every time I saw the Reds play there, there was 8 people in the stands. I just don't know how they could be profitable. And you look at everything that's happened across the minor leagues and all these layoffs and I will say this, props to my Reds. I don't know about your Braves, Madison, but they are paying all the minor league players a $400 a week stipend until at least September. So that's good. But that's what it's hurting AAA ball and everything. It's just, and that's how baseball operates, is these farm leagues, So this is just it's going to hurt everything. And if they don't do something about it now, they're really going to pay for it in the long run.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's look at a sport that's probably going to come back, Madison. Well, not probably going to come back, is coming back, and might be the first team sport back, Madison, hockey. And I want to go on record saying, hey, who was the first hockey guy, on this podcast and probably in our area? This guy right here. Yeah, I know, not you. Definitely not you. So, if anybody, when hockey comes back, I honestly, I hope that they do what baseball doesn't, that they're the first one back on, and then everybody's going to have to come, to old Bob Thuggins on Twitter and be like, hey, man, what's going on here? And I'll be just, be glad to explain it to everybody because, hockey's a great sport. It doesn't get enough love. And I know, being in the, the border of the South, people down here really don't give a fuck about it, but they're going to start giving a fuck about it, Madison, because it's coming back, and hopefully it's on before everything else is.
Well, you know what, Peyton, I hope you get that satisfaction, and I hope they do come back because it's going to be live sports, and people are going to want to watch something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, well, too, have you seen what they're proposed for the playoffs? Looks fucking awesome.
You talking about the playoff format?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they've got 24 teams, which is cool to begin with, and then, obviously 12 teams each conference. I guess they're going to have 2 hub cities. Everybody's going to play in the East is going to play at one arena, and then everybody in the West at another arena, which, to be fair, because they were talking about maybe later on in the playoffs when it gets down to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals and, the Stanley Cup Finals, moving it back to their home cities. If we can't do fans, what's that matter,
Yeah.
But, But, all right, so this is the format, bad. So you got 8 teams playing a best of 5, little bracket down there to get in, and then you have the top 4 seeds from each side are going to be playing a round robin against each other to see where they fall. So, if the team beats it goes 3-0, they're the 1 seed. Another team, splits and everything like that. It's just that right there looks fucking electric to me too. The first part, the qualifying rounds, is going to take a month. So, that's what I'm fucking so excited to have sports back, man.
You're talking about no holds bars, man. These guys are going to go all out.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's what – and plus hockey guys don't sit out for nothing. And, these guys are just going to go, like you said, balls to the walls. Nonstop the whole time. It's going to be fucking cool to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, too. I was going to say all right, so this is the thing. So one of my favorite things about hockey, Matt, and I wanted to do this real quick with you, because, like I said, I'm the resident hockey guy on this podcast. By the way, do you even know, where the Preds are going to be in all of this?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Like, well, you mean like where they're going to be
playoffs?
In the playoffs. Yeah, they're going to be a 5 seed.
I think it's close, honestly. They'll be playing the Coyotes in the first round.
Yeah,
so I mean, you've at least got that.
Because they're a 5 seed.
Yeah, you knew that. Well, my Bruins are going to be in the top 4, so I mean that's going to be cool to see them in the round robin. But anyway, what I was getting back to is I know that not a lot of listeners are big hockey fans, but I want them to get part of the hockey lingo in case they are the first ones back. So I decided, Madison, to do a little trivia with you, if you want to partake in it. So I'm going to just fire off. It's going to be quick. I'm going to give you a word, and you try and tell me what it means. This is hockey lingo. We're going to go through it pretty fast. All right, let me know when you're ready. All right, so I'm going to say the hockey word, and you tell me its meaning, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we got barn.
Slap shot.
Lettuce.
Wrist shot.
No, the wrister.
Slap shot.
Slapper.
Oh, yeah.
That's the slap shot. No, that was my next thing. That was my next question. It was slapper.
Oh.
Okay, Selly. Are you trying to Google these?
No. A hockey jersey.
No. Bucket.
A goal.
Helmet. Chirp.
Yelling at the other player.
It's shit talking. I'll give you that one. Dirty dangles.
Dirty pucks.
It's like crossing somebody up. It's making them look bad with the stick. All right, you'll like this one. Sin bin.
Taking someone else's shot.
That's penalty box.
Oh.
And, all right, and sweater.
A jersey.
There you go. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I did good.
No, you didn't. All right, but yeah, I just figured that'd be fun to hear. Good little segment for the listeners. But yeah, in case anybody wants the real answers, a barn is the arena or the rink. That's where the term barn burner comes from. Lettuce is hair, Madison. Wrister is a wrist shot. Slapper is a slap shot. Celly is a celebration after the goal. You got a bucket as a helmet. Chirping, shit talking. Dirty dangles is like, crossing somebody up with a stick move. Sin bin is penalty box, and a sweater is a jersey. So that's a little hockey lingo 101 from Ball.
And don't forget my all-time favorite, the fister.
Yeah, Madison, I don't know where that came from. Like, is that just fighting? What is a fister for you?
I'll let you use your imagination.
We'll figure it out whenever hockey starts back up.
Okay.
All right. Next thing I want to get into before we'll hit the Cameron Justice interview, but Conor McGregor, Anderson Silva, is this going to happen?
I think it will.
I think it does.
I think it will because I think they'll obviously just try for the money, but to me, it's not going to count for anything, man. I mean, Anderson Silva's out of his prime.
Yeah, I mean, what I found so funny about the whole situation is like with the way UFC works is like Conor McGregor this week came out and was like he thought that Anderson Silva was the GOAT, and he was like he said I think he's the GOAT, and he said then I'm probably right up there. He said if not on the same level, right behind him, but like him calling Anderson Silva the GOAT led to them fighting. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome. Yeah. Like you can't beat that. But no, I mean so who would you take in this one?
I would take McGregor.
Yeah, you have to. Younger.
I mean, he's younger. He's more in his prime. I mean, Anderson Silva hasn't really fought a professional fight in, I don't know, at least 3 years or something.
Been a while.
Yeah,
that's what I can't tell you the exact date, but too. I mean, McGregor's going to have to come up to 176, I think, is what he said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what, and McGregor's struggled with that before, but only when he's had a short amount of time to get up to that weight. So, I mean, that's why I'm the same way. I'm going to go McGregor in this one, but I am excited to see this fight. If nothing else, it'll be a moneymaker, like you said.
For sure. I mean, it was going to be the same way that with McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. It's something you just want to see.
Yeah, for sure. That's what too. I mean, that's why I'm too Irish to go against Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? In my bones, I've got too much of that heritage in me to pick against him.
You got too much Irish car bombs in you is what you have.
Now that was a bad night. Well, before we hit the interview, real quick story time. So me and Madison watched, you were a little late to the party, but we watched McGregor versus Mayweather at B-Dubs in Pikeville. This is, I can't tell you how many years ago it's been now, but So I get there at 5 o'clock. I'm holding the table. Madison couldn't be there on time. So me and my other buddy, shout out Sean, we're sitting at the bar waiting on the table to free up and had nothing to do but drink until the fight started. Well, I was drinking Irish car bombs in honor of Conor McGregor, and that did not turn out real well. I got blacked out. I probably drank like 12, 13 beers, probably 5 or 6 Irish car bombs. Just not a real good time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I dropped you all off at like 5,
Mm-hmm.
and the fight really didn't start till about midnight. So you just been there the whole day, just drinking,
not eating either. And like the thing is, I left like in the 5th round of the fight. I was so blacked out, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Poured a shot all over a woman at the bar. Like it was a shit show. But that is my life.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit this interview real quick, Madison. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks again to Camron for coming on, doing the interview with us. It's an awesome interview. I know all you listeners are going to love it, but we'll hit it, and then we'll do our segments on the backside of the interview. Everybody, we would like to welcome on a special guest we got this week for an interview, Camron Justice. Cam, how would you want to be introduced on here? I guess as a former Western Kentucky point guard, or do you want to be like, future pro player, or like how do you want us to like name it in the title?
Nah, just claim me as Camron Justice, basketball player. I mean, that's fine with me. You don't have to go into all the detail.
What a humble bastard.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, first thing I was gonna bring up was, you had a really good season this year at Western. I was just wondering like what your plans going forward are.
Oh, well, going forward, actually, I just signed with an agent out of New York with an agency called the Sports Law Group. The dude his name is Robert Falk. He started this company about 6-7 years ago, I think, with one of his buddies. And, right now, everything is kind of in limbo with all this pandemic going across the world and everything like that. So, everything's kind of up in the air, just waiting and listening and being patient and everything like that. But, it's been kind of stressful, nerve-wracking, anxious at the same time. So, I don't really know what's going on. And the worst part about the whole situation is, like, he can't really tell me what's going on as well.
Right, that's true. That's something I hadn't even thought about. So, like, that's the thing too. You can't get in front of teams and work out or anything like that, or let them get an in-person look at you. So that's just an obstacle I would have never thought about that have to deal with anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely been a different scenario as to what it would have been. Had I came out of high school, college last year or the year before, or anything like that. So nobody really knows what to say or what to do or how to go about it or anything like that. Everybody's just, thinking on their feet and trying to do the best they can.
Right. Well, I saw, man, Western won, your last game of the season. And I know that going into the year, that's all anybody hopes to do is win their last game. So, like, do you want to go ahead and, like, claim a national title for Western Kentucky this year?
I don't know if it's that easy. I know UCF did that in football. I don't really know if it works like that. But,
True.
Whatever floats your boat.
Well, that's what in the title I'll put national champ Camron Justice.
Hey, if UCF can, why can't Western?
True.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just going to claim that you're a national champion on here, okay, Camron? That's what we're going to do.
Hey, do what you want to do. That makes me feel good about myself.
There you go. But all right, man, if you have like an overseas option or anything like that, or are you thinking about taking it? Like, are you open to like traveling to play ball and stuff?
Absolutely. I said a long time ago, I'm the stereotypical 6'3" white dude that everybody stereotypes as a shooter. I really feel like I can do a lot more things than shoot, but that's what people stereotype me as, is whatever. But yeah, no, most definitely want to travel the world and play basketball as long as I can. I had a conversation with my pops, when I was going about this whole situation about signing an agent and everything like that. And he told me, he was like, listen, you're 23 years old. You can't go back and say you wanted to go to Europe when you were 40 years old and be like, I'm going to go play basketball then. It's like, you're 23 years old. Why not do it now? So
that's solid ass advice.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. What continent would you like most want to go play on? You know, like I mean, would you like rather be in Europe or like? Because my knowledge of Europe starts and ends with the movie Euro Trip, and that seems pretty sick. Or like you could. There's always like the whole like Australian league where you got LaMelo Ball bought that team. You could go play for him. I mean, there's always options.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of options. I mean, there's teams everywhere. There's people that don't understand the sport, professional sports, professional like European basketball, don't understand how many teams there really is out there. Like, I mean, there's teams all over the countries. But to me, I think a good fit would be anywhere in like Western Europe, maybe Spain or something like that. But I mean, it's untelling where I'll end up.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean that is completely wild, man, and I'm with you. Like the whole like stereotypical thing. Like I watched you play ball. I mean, I remember the game at the field house. I know me and Peyton was talking about that a little bit when you just came down there. What was it? Was it the buzzer beater that he hit when he was watching down the field house?
Dude, I remember. Well, you all came down, and I can't remember if you were playing Belfry or what team you were playing. I think they were better than Belfry, honestly. But dude, one of the wildest things I saw you do in person was you hit like a buzzer beater at the half to put you up by 3, I think from the volleyball line. And like, most people, especially high school athletes, would be like running around, like flipping out, being like, holy shit, you know what I mean? I just hit that. Dude, you turned and looked at the ref and you were like slapping your elbow. Like, dude, he got me. I was like, what? I was like, Dave, you're looking for the foul?
Shit, man. I was just trying to get an extra point.
There you go, man. That's competitor's nature right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, but just like even being there, like, when we were watching that, like I had never seen like probably the best player that I had seen before you was probably like Elijah Justice. But when you came to town, like I'm with you. Like you could literally do anything, and you just wasn't just like the typical scorer. Like I mean, you were probably in my eyes the best basketball player at that time that I had ever seen. But I haven't really traveled everywhere and watched more high school ball. But I'm just saying you were pretty damn good.
I appreciate that.
But going to my question for you, Cameron, though, is so if everyone didn't know, which they should know, former Kentucky High School Mr. Basketball, Cameron was 2015.
Could also put that in the title.
Yeah. We might want to put that one in there. That's a pretty important one. So, dude, being a kid, from the Belfry area, and I mean even Knott County itself, and that's where you kind of made a name for yourself. What does something like that mean to you? I mean, you were Mr. Basketball, man. Like you were the best player. They voted you as the best player in the state of Kentucky. Like, at what point did you realize, like, wow, like I can win this freaking award?
I don't know when it really set in, but I can tell you a story. I remember when I was in I think it was 7th grade when Elijah won Mr. Basketball from the mountains, and I was like, I remember going home one night and telling my dad, like, hey, listen, like, I'm going to be Mr. Basketball when I graduate out of high school. And he was like, let's slow your roll. Like, hey, man, let's try to be a good basketball player, win games, this and that. And I was like, no, I'm going to be Mr. Basketball. And, he was just trying to, like, keep me grounded as a father. But, man, I put the work in. I spent early mornings, late nights in that gym trying to do everything I could. I had a passion for it. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of a feeling or like a title I'll cherish for the rest of my life. But I mean, it only gets you so far. I mean, you can be Mr. Basketball wherever, and that doesn't entitle you to anything. But I mean, it's honestly a title that I'll cherish. I was able to complete that goal and everything like that. But I'm happy I was able to do that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, you mentioned your dad too. That's another thing I was going to bring up. He's kind of, a big deal in the Eastern Kentucky area as far as basketball world's concerned, for sure. But I was going to say, how many times did like coach's son get brought up to you? Like whenever you're playing or, practicing or, somebody was commentating your games, like how many times did somebody have to throw in, well, he is a coach's son?
Yeah, I mean, I remember people used to say, "Oh, the only reason he was playing when he was a freshman is because his dad's a coach," or "Only reason he was playing as 8th grader was his dad was a coach." But I mean, I feel like I worked my ass off to be able to play as an 8th grader, a freshman, or whatever. And people are always going to say shit about you. It don't matter where you're at. if you're good, people want to talk you down or
Right.
do this and that, which is cool. I mean, that honestly set a fire under me, like making me want to be better. But I really just tried to block them out and do my own thing, and I knew what I was capable of, and I just tried to do that.
Absolutely, man.
Well, joke's on them because you end up being Mr. Basketball.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If anything, it did nothing but fuel you, like you said. I mean, and I feel like all great competitors have to have that, like, that edge. You know what I mean? Like the edge that I obviously don't have, or probably would have been a better athlete.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, hey, the craziest thing that sticks out to me. Did y'all watch the MJ documentary?
Oh, for sure, dude. Yes.
Did you? When they was talking about where they said the dude MJ was saying that the dude came up to him and said something about nice game, and then the next game he like went off for like 50 or something, or had so many. He had as many points as that kid did at halftime as he did the whole game after he said that. And then they asked him after the game, like, did he really say that to you? And they said MJ just looked at him and was like, nah. But I mean, that's the kind of shit that like athletes do. Like, you do something that like lights a fire under your ass, like makes you want to go. But I mean, it's different.
Well, man, since you brought the documentary up, I got to ask you, MJ or LeBron?
Shit. God, I'm gonna have to go with MJ because I'm more of a shooter.
Thank God.
I'm more of a shooter. I'm more of a shooter. So like, I loved watching MJ play because he could shoot that jump shot and he could bring people outside the basket. But man, LeBron is just an absolute freak of nature, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what full disclosure. I'm a huge Jordan guy. If you would have answered LeBron, I was going to cut that part out. So,
but no, for real. I mean, I think LeBron might go down as like one of the greatest, which I think he should.
Yeah,
no question. But like, I still don't think he has that status of MJ.
No, that's why just the big moments, like, you know what I mean? Like, the documentary helped shine a lot of light on it for like the younger generation like us. Yeah. But like, that's what LeBron just never has came up clutch time and time and time again, like Jordan always did.
And they even had them players coming back talking about LeBron. Like, LeBron was clutch, but he was always going to be that guy that was going to make the right play.
Right.
He was going to make the right pass. He was going to make, he was going to do all that shit and everything like that. And MJ was taking a shot no matter if there was 2, 3, 4 people on him.
That's what I love. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to elevate over a double team,
Yeah, do what you got to do. And if you're capable of that, why the fuck not?
Exactly.
There you go. So Cam, another question I had for you. So your first couple of years at Vandy, I always wanted to know this because Kentucky players would always say this, but now that I'm actually getting to talk to someone who actually played at Vanderbilt, we all know that Vandy was one of the most unique courts of all in basketball. So what was it like playing there? Like, because like I said, I always heard it was hard to shoot just because of like the floor level and the backdrop. Like, I mean, did that hold true to fortune?
Probably for like visiting teams, but for like us, we practiced in there all the time. I thought it was a great shooting gym. I honestly loved to shoot in it. But I mean, it was different. It kind of felt like you were up on a stage.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Instead of like playing on a floor, you kind of felt like you were elevated above everyone. The only thing it kind of took me getting used to was like the coaches being on the end lines instead of the sidelines. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we used to practice it all the time. We had it was almost like football where we had like signals, like hand signals for plays instead of actually like calling a play out.
So you were there when. Was you there when Kevin Stallings was there?
So Kevin Stallings was there my freshman year, and then my sophomore year, Bryce Drew was there.
Right. Well, here's another question I have is, I know he's only there when you were a freshman, but what was it like playing for Kevin Stallings, a.k.a. an absolute nut job?
Honestly, I loved Coach Stallings.
Yeah.
He was different. Let me tell you that. He was different. But no, I loved him. That was probably the smartest coach and most knowledgeable coach I've ever played for. The dude could absolutely draw up some plays out of timeout to draw up plays for any scenario on the spot. And we would come out and run it to if you ran it to a tee, you were getting a shot up, like a clean look, everything like that. But no, man, he definitely challenged you as a person, as a player, human being, whatever you want to say. He definitely challenged you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say
it's like one of those guys that like you love to have on your sideline, but you'd hate him to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I can only imagine seeing him on the like opposing sideline. I'm sure people thought he was a crazy man, which he kind of was. But I mean, he had a full right to be.
Right.
He was trying to win games.
Well, which he was the guy that took a chance on you, gave you the scholarship. So
absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was. He took a chance on me. It was always a dream of mine to be able to play in the SEC. I grew up watching Kentucky basketball, so like everything was revolved around the SEC.
Oh, for sure, man.
And I was like, to have a chance to be able to compete in the SEC and stuff like that, which I think's. I honestly, looking back on it, I'm more mature now. I think things would have been a lot different had I not tore my groin and had the double core sports hernia surgery, and then Coach Stallings leaving and stuff like that. I do think a lot of things would have been different. I do think I would have graduated from there if some things would have went a different way.
Yeah, man, that's something that people don't take into consideration a lot of times. It's like not only do you have to put in the hard work and dedication, but like things have to like fall into place for you too.
Yeah,
like you said, I mean the injuries and the coach leaving and stuff. That's a lot of stuff that like the top guys at their craft don't really have to deal with.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a big thing. Taking care of your body is a major priority in high Division I sports and everything like that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of people think you just show up and play the basketball game, but that's not it. It goes into eating, lifting weights, rest, everything like that. So it's difficult.
Oh, yeah, it is for sure. I mean, hell, even like you would think as a grown man, I would learn to start taking care of myself a little better. But like, I've had a foot injury for like 2 months. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it will not stop hurting. Like, I mean, just for my day to day. Yeah. At this point, might need to do that.
Yeah. Maybe when this whole pandemic's over.
There you go. That's my excuse for the time being.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you too, man. So I've recently became a father, the last couple of months. Yeah, I know.
Congrats.
Congrats on the stakes. I know, man. I appreciate it. But I was going to ask, man, you got any drills that, like, I should run over with him? Because he was born on MJ's birthday. So, like, I'm going to go ahead and tell myself he's going to be a great basketball player.
Just make sure he can dribble with both hands.
Yeah,
if you can start that at an early age, he's got a head start on them little first and second graders.
I mean, do you think I should start that now or, like, wait?
Pull out the Nerf goals.
There we go. I got to get one of those little Fisher Price things. I can't wait to get that in the house and start yamming on them.
I used to destroy those when I was little. So
hey, that's maybe where it starts, man.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So basically, here's the burning question that I want to ask Camron. Okay, is it a fair assumption for me and my co-host Peyton? Is it a fair assumption for us to say that you're the best thing that's ever happened to Knott County? And do you feel like you rank higher than the Knott County Sportsplex?
Knott County Sportsplex. They did have some prime days. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of good people that came out of Knott County. I was just fortunate to end up there. I would say me and my crew that I graduated with did some pretty damn good things. I mean, we won 4 consecutive regional titles, 4 consecutive district titles, got to the Elite 8 twice. I'm trying to think. WYMT twice. Made it to the Final Four of the All-A.
Damn.
I'm just trying to think, man. Went down to the Beach Ball Classic. A lot of people counted us out. We went 3-1. That was against, like the nation's top teams. That's like considered like one of the most premier high school basketball, like Christmas tournaments in the country.
Well, that's something too people don't really like take into consideration is that to go and play like at places like that and be population matters so much for like basketball and like class. And there's not a class system, you know what I mean? And like to have that kind of success, being from a kind of smaller area, I mean that's huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. I really think my crew is grateful. We're grateful for everything that came our way. We like to say, put us up against any. I remember when we was in high school, we used to say all the time, like, tell all them old heads to come back that keep talking shit about they could beat us and this and that. And like we'll line up right here and play with them. Like we thought we were the greatest thing that ever went through Knott County, and we kind of thought we walked on water, like sports wise.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you all were good. That was a fact for sure.
Oh yeah,
I remember that team vividly, man. That team was awesome.
I remember coming back to Belfry a few times and whooping that ass. So.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't take much.
Yeah.
That was always good. That was always good for me. My dad being there and kind of getting pushed out, so I always kind of had like a hard feelings towards Belfry. So it always felt good to go back there.
It's always nice to have a revenge game. You can always circle that on the calendar.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Back to your college career, you did a little bit of traveling. Obviously bouncing around from a couple of schools. What was your favorite stop along the way?
Shit, I'm probably gonna have to go Bowling Green, Kentucky, with Western Kentucky.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm talking like them fans. That's the best atmosphere I've ever played in. Home, away, anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's glowing praise.
Well, now I remember, and I thought that was maybe for football, but it definitely could be basketball too because it's the college. But at one point in time, I thought that like WKU was voted like #1 for having like the rowdiest fan base.
Oh, it's insane, man.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you right now, if you're ever near Bowling Green or want to take the trip to Bowling Green, go during basketball season and go to a basketball game. It is insane.
Oh,
the atmosphere. I'm talking about like the eatery in the city, like everything about Bowling Green. Top notch college town.
Well, me and Madison did go to Bowling Green 3 times when we were in high school. We just didn't have that much success, so we lost 3 consecutive state championships.
Shit, man, picked the wrong sport.
Yeah, we did. Well, that leads into my next question. So, what's your total your highest total rebounds in a game? Because mine's 23.
I think it was like 15.
Well,
that's pretty sick flex by me.
Yeah. It might be, Peyton, but he probably had 56 points in that game as well.
Yeah, probably.
What was your highest total points scored?
I believe it was 14, and it was that same game. That was going off for me.
He was playing against Phelps' C team, Camron.
I was more of a Dennis Rodman type.
Was we playing JV?
Yes, yeah, that was a JV game. I usually don't mention that part.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
But no, yeah, that's why, you got to stroke your own ego sometimes. But, for real though, so what is the difference because you played at IUPUI, correct?
Yes.
And what is the difference in the level of ball being played, like when you go from an IUPUI to a Western Kentucky?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. There's players everywhere in the country, no matter what division. I really don't care what division you're in. There's players at every stage. But the major difference is just the atmosphere.
I could see that.
Playing in front of the people that back to school and this and that. Even when I was at Vanderbilt, we had a great fan base, but that fan base wasn't nothing like Western Kentucky's fan base. I really, that's the only thing I could say about the level of play. People, all these kids, I tell people all the time, like, these people come up to me and they're like, man, my boy's going to play college basketball like you did, and like this and that. But like a lot of people don't realize, man, like when you go from high school to college, it's not one step higher than high school basketball. It's like 15 to 20 steps higher than college basketball. There's a select few there's a select few people that get to go on to play basketball, and then there's an even more select few that get to go on to play professional basketball. Like it's the best in the world.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
So I mean, it's crazy. A lot of people think they can do this and that, and they just want it to happen. But there's a lot of shit that goes into it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for sure. What was if you can like think back for us, what is your one game where you were like I don't know if you've ever had one of those, because you hear these pro players talking about like blacking out and just like going the hell off. Like, is there one game you can think back to you were just like, man, I was in the fucking zone?
Yeah. We was at Lexington Catholic playing in the 53rd. I don't think it's called the 53rd no more. Bank Classic. It was a Christmas tournament at Lexington Catholic, and the night before, in the semifinals, we played Lexington Catholic, and that same year, about a month earlier, before we went up there and played, Lexington Catholic had came to Knott County, and we wore them out, beat them like 25, this and that, and then we have to go up there and play them in the semifinals in their home tournament.
Damn.
At their home gym, and they screwed us. I mean, we got absolutely screwed. If it's one game I could go back and complain about forever, they screwed us. So the next day we play Roger Bacon from Ohio in the consolation game. I ended up having 62 points.
Holy shit!
Michael Jordan on our hands here.
It was like I don't even know what it was. It was just like at halftime. I think I had like 28 or 29 or something. Like I was in the zone, and like all the dudes in the locker room, like my teammates were like the best teammates in the world. Like didn't care to set screens, care to do this. I remember at halftime they were beating us by like 10. Nobody really wanted to be there. Like it was the consolation game. Like we knew we shouldn't have been there. They all came up to me at halftime and was like, man, screw this shit, man. He was like, we're just gonna get the ball, give it to you, and say hello screen. So it was like every time down the floor. And I was just
coming off 4 screens.
Yeah, I was just in the zone and like drilling and well, the worst part is we actually lost the game. I had 62 points and lost the game. Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
Crazy. It was like 95, 92 or something like that. I missed the shot as big as the zone I was in, I missed the shot at the end of the game to like tie it up or something. It was something crazy.
Man, it happens though,
Yeah. But that's definitely the best zone I've ever been in. And then I think there was like another time where I scored like 34 points or something like that in the fourth quarter alone.
Holy shit!
And like up to that point, I think I had
Thompson.
up to that point, I think I had like 3 points or something like that. So I had like 34, 33 or something in the fourth quarter, and only had like ended the game
37
like 36. Total. Yeah, like something crazy.
That is wild as hell. I bet whoever was guarding you was like, "Damn, I'm doing such a good job."
And then the flip of the switch.
It was there's that story Amon Shumpert tells about Kobe. Like he was like, man, I'm walking Kobe down, and he said that like he said something to him, and he said Kobe looked at him at the start of the fourth and said, "Good game, young fella." He said he looked up at the clock and was like, "What is he talking about?" And he said he just got torched after that.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's a pretty good one.
But yeah, Matt, you got how many more questions you got for him?
Dude, I just got one more for you, Cam. I just want to know, and this is just going to kind of tell me your definition of character right now. What is your favorite basketball movie?
Favorite basketball movie?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm just going to say, if it's not Space Jam, you might hurt my feelings.
I don't know, man. There's a ton. I mean, as a child, it was probably Space Jam, but then like Hoosiers is like top notch.
True.
Yeah.
You know, like the older I get, the more I understand like Hoosiers. When I was younger, I didn't understand Hoosiers.
Space Jam made a lot more sense.
Yeah, Space Jam and Looney Tunes definitely stuck out to me more. But like, I would have to go one of those two.
Okay, well, we're going to go with Space Jam, Cameron.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
We'll edit that other part out.
I was a huge I love Glory Road and Coach Carter and all those movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to name one of those, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with one of those two.
Yeah, man. Well, I got one last question for you. Do you ever just like go play pickup ball with like just random people at the Y or something?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I used to a few times, but like every time I'd end up there, like before the end of the game, like somebody would legit end up trying to hurt me. And it finally just got to a point where I was like, man, screw this shit. Like I'm not wasting my career on like something like this.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is it like awesome to just go play with like normal people like that and then like just absolutely destroy them?
There was always that one middle-aged man that would get pissed off out of his mind and like try to do something.
That used to be the shit back in like '96. Yeah, he used to tell people that he was the best.
Used to tell people the best, but he probably sat his fat ass on the end of the bench or some shit like that. Like just like dumb stuff, man. Like so I just quit doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I mean, you got to take your safety first. But at the same time, like, I would like to go just for, like, if I had, trust me, if I had that level of skill, I'd go just to, like, roast people for, like, 10 minutes and I'd leave. I'd be like, fuck you guys. Too good for this shit.
Yeah. No, but I've definitely had my moments in there playing with, just regular people.
Oh, yeah.
And, I tried to there for a long time. A lot of people were up there playing at the Plex. They always had them games on like Wednesday to like 200 or whatever, and I'd go up there and try to play sometimes, and it just never ended well. So I was like, nah, I'm done doing that.
Well, that's what we have another podcast like in our network called Ball Me. Our other co-host, Austin Blackburn, he hosts that, but he used to go play up there a pretty good lot, and he said that things could tend to get violent.
Oh yeah, it did. It did. Let me tell you, boys, there's been some scuffles up there.
Oh, dude, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, that's all we got for the interview. Buddy, I sure do appreciate you coming on.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate it. It's been a good time.
Oh, dude, I had a blast. Like I said, I mean, I told you before we got on here, I was hoping, it'd just be something fun to do and everything. And plus, something good for the listeners. That's where we ain't had sports to talk about. We're just trying to find them new stuff, get interviews and shit lined up. I mean, not only do we appreciate it, but they do too.
I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all reached out. I was happy doing this. Anytime you want to do it again, just let me know. I'm always free.
Well, that was my next thing. I mean, once you come on once, you're officially a reoccurring guest. So that means you have to go. You have to come on at some other point.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Just let me know.
That was in the fine print in the contract, Camron. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the contract.
Well, there was a link in the text that you had to click, and then it said it after that. So that's what we hide that shit well.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I seen the contract and it said something about like a $250 pay to the guy you brought on.
Oh yeah, you have to talk to Madison about that. He is the overfinancing. So
okay, let me just go ahead and decline the call.
All right, man. Take it easy. I'm glad we did this. Let's do it again.
All right, man, for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, Cam.
All right, no problem.
All right, Mad. So guess who's back of the week? We're going to start off our segments. I want to go with my guess who's back, Bartolo Colon. I don't know if you saw this dude, but he came out, said he's wanting to, pitch again. And like, man, I'm just, please God, let him. You know what I mean? Like somebody fucking sign this guy. Like I need big sexy in my life right now. I mean, this guy's just like 46 years old. Fuck it. Put him on the mound.
Dude, I'm sorry, but Bartolo Colon is one of the funniest looking human beings I have ever seen in my life. And like even his like pitching motions, like I feel like a fifth grader should be able to hit it because I mean you see the ball literally the whole entire time when it leaves and he short arms it.
Yeah.
So but dude, I mean give him a chance. Dude, the last time he played he was hitting bangers, dude. I mean he's
hitting yeah. I forgot about that. He hit that homer, what was it, 2-3 years ago with the Mets?
Yeah. Sign him in the National League. How many National League pitchers do you know can go out there and swing for the fences and actually hit it out of the ballpark?
Not many. Lorenzen probably for the Reds. That's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, that's why I'm here for it. Because one way or the other, Madison, this is going to be fucking hilarious. Because like you're either going to have a 46-year-old short fat dude like striking guys out, or you're going to have, like, a 46-year-old short, fat dude, like, getting home, absolutely blasted and, like, guys raking off of him. And then it's like, yeah, no shit. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hilarious either way. He also said he wants to retire as a Met, which, like, I think but he said he'll play anywhere. So, I mean, I hope that somebody signs him. Yeah. And fuck, I mean, if you're the Mets, why not?
I mean, he can still produce. I mean, the last time he played, he produced. I mean, somebody can pick him up. I mean, he don't even have to be a starter.
Right. No, I mean, hell, put him in fucking relief. I mean, the people just, like I said, he'll be there to sell tickets. I mean, I saw an article when I was researching this earlier, and it said why Bartolo clone to the Orioles makes sense. And I was like, probably because they don't have any fucking pitching. Like, I mean, if I was guessing, that would be why.
Probably because they're desperate.
Yeah. They won like 22 games last year, so that would be my guess.
All right. But for my guess, who's back, Peyton?
All right, let me hear it.
Well, he's been around, but he's back. DeAndre Hopkins, shit talking.
Okay, he's back to talking shit.
Back to talking shit, yeah. So I don't know if y'all seen this, but clearly DeAndre Hopkins is arguably a top 3 receiver. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, maybe number 1, I mean, depending on who you ask.
So, I mean, he gets on Twitter, and he gets on there and says, like, if I had somebody like Drew Brees that threw to me my whole career, or if I had like somebody like Matt Ryan throwing to me my whole career, talking about Michael Thomas and talking about Julio Jones, he said, I would have put up these numbers too, and I would be the top receiver in the game, and which he still feels like he is. So hey, I give it to him, especially with the Texans. But if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm kind of pissed.
You think so?
Yeah. I would be just a little angry because I'd be like, I mean, dude, I feel like I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that he probably is in that same boat. Yeah.
Yeah. And, now he's throwing all this shade, and now Kyler Murray's probably scared for his life. He's probably going, well, I'm going to throw the ball to him every time.
Well, I mean, that's what he's got. Larry Legend on the other side, and then do they have another receiver? Did they pick somebody up?
If they did, must not be somebody.
I feel like they've got somebody. Yeah, well, I don't know. I felt like they made another move or whatever. But yeah, it's always good to see DeAndre Hopkins back talking shit, dude. Like, I mean, he had the whole him and Stephon Gilmore getting into it last year, and then the fucking the video of him absolutely snatching D'Angelo Hall's ankles when he was talking shit to him right before, and it was what was that in fucking that was in Hard Knocks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like it was like at a scrimmage practice between them two.
Yeah, that's what. Anytime that you can see him talking shit, it's just fucking legendary. So I'm happy for that. That's what it's good. It's what makes sports be back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Let's see here. Let's move on. I'm upset, Madison. What are you upset about this week?
Dude, I am upset about virtual bike rides. Okay, I said it because
first off, fuck you. I mean, this has been my shtick on the internet for the last 2 weeks. So I mean.
Well, Peyton,
sun's out, buns out, Madison.
Listen, I respect the sun's out, buns out, you getting up early in the morning with your headband and sweating your ass off, going through Europe, going through Tokyo, going through fucking...
Hey, riding around the world. Lance Armstrong ain't got shit.
Listen, I agree with it. But now, for them to turn this into an actual thing where it's televised, like, catch Roy McIlroy and Booger McFarland, doing this virtual bike ride, and it's like to see who gives a shit? Who cares? Like, I mean, God bless, we need sports back so much. I mean, it's killing us all. Okay,
between
nobody
that and
cares.
The 2K leagues, yeah. Which I mean, to be fair,
I can handle the 2K leagues, but virtual bike rides, like, you must have to be a desperate pile of shit to sit there and watch them do this virtual bike ride on television.
I think Matt Leinert's on there too, isn't he? They got a bunch of former athletes. Yeah. I mean, but I mean too, which I said, like the virtual bike rides and the 2K thing, that's been my existence since quarantine started. Like, that's the only 2 things I do is put out virtual bike ride videos and the 2K stuff. So
yeah, but your virtual bike rides and your 2K videos last a minute tops?
Well, I made a highlight video that was almost 2 minutes and 20 seconds the other day, but it was like 6 games compiled.
but I'm saying, like, you're when this is on like live television, like, is there really people desperate to watch that?
Too. If anything, I might change my I'm upset because why didn't I get invited to this?
Peyton, you would have smoked their ass. You would have dusted all of them.
I mean, hell, I bet which two. I think it was a Peloton deal. I'm a Nordic Track guy, so I mean, no free ads, but I mean, Nordic Track. If you're listening, if you want to send me something, I wouldn't be mad about it. Or knock a little something off my payments, either way. But all right, man. Are you done ranting about them?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm upset this week, so I've been out of town for work. A lot of people heard me bitching about that throughout the week. But man, do you know like Indiana doesn't sell cold beer at gas stations.
You sure just wasn't the gas station you were at, Peyton?
No, because I went to a CVS. And Madison, they had it hot on the shelves. So I was like, because I knew I left the gas station. I was like, well, what kind of shithole doesn't have cold beer? And so I go to the CVS and like I walk to the coolers and I'm like, and I said, hey, where's the beer? And they were like, aisle 9. And I like look in aisle 9. And I was like, well, there's not even fridges down there, so beer's not there. And then like keep walking up and down. And like I walked into it and sure shit, it was in aisle 9. I said, hey, is that like a thing here? And they're like, yeah, you can't like sell cold beer at all. They were like, liquor stores can. So we had to like I had to go to a liquor store to get it, but I was like, what is the fucking point? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like Indiana seems like the dumbest state in the world for that.
Well, do you think it's just because that they don't want to sell cold beer, so as soon as people get it, they crack one open in the car on the ride home?
I mean, maybe, but like at the same time, when you can go to a liquor store and do it, like, I mean,
it just seems like Indiana. It seems like Indiana's not the safest state in the world, considering they have handled this pandemic and this virus horribly. So you would figure they wouldn't give a shit if people wrecked on the way home drinking.
Yeah, like I mean, what's the big deal if you're just gonna get a couple road beers ain't gonna kill anybody? Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I shouldn't get on that. I shouldn't get on this podcast and condone that, so that's what I'm strictly apologize for that. That's Jesus, that was awful. Well, we don't support. We disavow drinking and driving.
What you meant to say is a couple of road beers for the passenger.
Yes,
doesn't hurt anybody.
Yes,
we all get what you're saying, Peyton. We know.
No, the listeners know. I would never. We disavow drinking and driving on this podcast.
Right.
So, all right, man. Let's move on. Which segment we doing next? Let's do. Oh, I had a drunk idea, Madison. You want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
All right. So we know that sports are coming back, but we know there's not going to be any fans. But shout out to Texas because they are at least doing the 25% capacity. I think I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago on this show. I feel like that things that I say on this podcast like are coming to fruition, and I don't know if it's like my brain's actually like working for once, or like if it's just everybody's having the same ideas. So I don't know exactly what's causing that, but like the whole cruise ship thing, and then like they're trying to do the NBA and Disney, and then like I said, 33% capacity like for games, and now they're doing like 25% in Texas. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's somewhere around that general vicinity, and like I feel like my brain's actually like working in hyperdrive trying to get sports back. So I mean, we're at least getting close. But anyway, back to my drunk idea. So if they don't do fans, Madison, they've already said they're going to pop in crowd noise, right?
Right. So
my thoughts is like we're not going to see anybody there, and if you can't CGI fans in, they need to fill the stadium with the wacky inflatable flailing arm tube men, and then like. Like the dudes that like at the car dealerships that are just fucking everywhere, and like you have them all hooked up, but you don't have them 100%, right? You got them like at 50%, so they're just like stiff, not really doing a lot, and then somebody's like breaking loose for a touchdown, and you crank them bitches wide open, then they're fucking going everywhere. So the visual is like fitting for the situation, and then like you got something going on in the crowd too, and then you pop in the crowd noise, it gets louder and everything. Like I mean, to me, in my dumb brain, that'd be perfect. Like I mean, it's like nothing ever changed.
So basically, what we should do is they should put them in the crowd. They should probably dress them in the attire, like
definitely, or at least color code.
Yeah. Maybe attach a glove with a stick right beside of them, make it look like, hey, they're wanting to catch a ball.
Yeah, or like I mean, man, like could you imagine doing like the black hole like Raiders fans as the two men, like putting the spiked shoulder pads and the pirate like costumes on them? That'd be unreal to see on TV. Like that's shit like that. Like I mean, it's gonna look weird, so like make it as funny as possible for me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, somebody like football, somebody breaks loose for a touchdown. Baseball, they hit a homer. Like I mean, big dunk coming up for I mean, like a breaking free, like in an NBA game, like anything like that. Fucking crank wide open, just fucking shit going everywhere, and we're good to go.
Especially like on a free throw, like it does the back angle when they're shooting the free throw.
Yes. That's what they need to appoint one guy per stadium to control the two men in the audience. That's what just that. So yeah, that was what my drunk brain came up with, Madison, this week. So that's where I'm at right now.
That's a good idea, Peyton.
I appreciate it. Honestly, I think that's my first drunk idea that you were like, "Hey, man, that could work."
I think that could. Yeah, I think it could.
All right, let's do a little team talk real quick, Madison. What do you got for Kentucky?
Well, I really don't have anything that's directly involving Kentucky, but it's something that potentially could. So we talked about it a little on Ball Me this past week, but just so we knew that as soon as the season was over, Johnny Juzang, he transferred out. We didn't know where he was going to go. He transfers to UCLA. So in the transfer, he would have had to get he requested for immediate eligibility. Well, that's never been done before, and especially there wasn't a coach change or anything like that. So over the past week, he did get granted eligible to play immediately this upcoming year. So the reason why that involves Kentucky, not just because he was a former Kentucky player, is because we're in that predicament right now with Olivia Sarr, and that is very good news in my eyes for Olivia Sarr, just because if the NCAA, I feel like if they're doing it for Johnny Juzang, and Coach Cal wasn't fired or anything like that, and they granted him eligibility, then I think they should do the same for Olivia Sarr. But now the NCAA is a joke, so they might literally do that for everyone else besides Sarr and just be like, sorry, screw you.
Hey, yeah, we hate it for you guys. No, I don't know, man. I'm with you. And honestly, man, the pandemic thing might be what's pushing this to happen. You know what I mean? Because everything's so weird, and they're just like, this 1 year, fuck it, everything goes. You know what I mean? We're going to do investigations on Louisville and Kansas for them cheating years ago, but we're going to throw them out the window now since, pandemic. And,
New year to us.
Yeah, that's what, shit. No one's concerned about anything right now. There's fucking COVID-19 out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not trying to, have allegations. No shit, though. The NCAA is probably not going to punish any of them for any of this because they're going to need the money this year.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you're right. Just because this pandemic and stuff's going on, I think they'll start just because they tried voting on this last year and it got rejected. Mm-hmm. Well, it's right when this got rejected is when the G League said, all right, we're going to start offering these players money and stuff. So I think the NCAA's got their hands tied behind their back, and I think, all right, we have to do one good thing in this corporation. And if we're going to do one good thing, it's to grant these players immediate eligibility.
Right.
So I think Johnny Juzang is just the first domino to fall on that. And even Matt McClung wanting to go to Texas Tech. I think he should be be able to go straight away, which I know that's not good news for you, Peyton.
You know what, West Virginia, I'm looking at the national championship this year, Madison, so I'm not even fucking concerned.
Okay.
All right, back-to-back national champs, we won our last game of the season, so I'm hoisting a banner for 2020.
Undefeated in March.
Exactly. But no, my team talk real quick. Neil Brown signed Brayden Dudley, defensive lineman out of Georgia. Madison, he had 19 or 20 other Division I offers. Kid has been highly recruited. Just Neil Brown keeps killing it. I think that's the 10th commit for the 2021 class now. And everybody we got on there so far looks like, pure studs. I'm excited. And man, at the end of the day, you got to hashtag trust the climb. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. But yeah, that's what, like I said, this dude highly recruited. I can't remember. I thought I had some of his other offers written down, but apparently I don't. But yeah, anyway, just know, like I said, 19 other Division I offers. So people are wanting them.
We're just going to say he had offers from Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, and all these things. He chose WV.
Ohio State, all of them. So yeah, and he chose WVU over every other school in the country. So good things coming up for West Virginia. All right, Madison, who's in danger of the week? I'm going to go with Tyreeke Hill on mine. He thinks he is 1% body fat, and I don't know. He tweeted this out, and I hope he hasn't deleted it. If he hasn't, everybody go look on Twitter. It is hilarious. But does he not know he'd be I don't know, dead? I know pro athletes have low levels of body fat, 5 to 6% and stuff, but does he understand what 1% would mean?
Yeah,
he wouldn't have enough fat to live.
That's what I'm saying. 1% is your on 21 days naked and afraid and you haven't ate anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what, like, it is possible for a man to be, you know, obviously that low, but like, you would be, like you said, just so famished you couldn't, obviously you couldn't perform at a professional
level.
You're
on a ventilator, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're having a machine breathe for you, dog.
Yeah, you literally have fat becomes energy, so I've got plenty of energy, and like, you would have no energy to run off of, you know what I mean? Like,
for you to have 1% body fat and to possibly be the fastest in the league, if you had 1% body fat, as soon as you went to go sprint, you would fall apart.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. Like, Tyreeke Hill, man, like, and the thing is, props to him for just sticking with it and not deleting the tweet either. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, fuck it, but I don't think anyone has accused Tyreeke Hill of being incredibly smart. I mean, the guy's
probably afraid.
Yeah, it's true. He's a noted fucking scumbag. So, child abuser and everything. So, I mean, no one has accused this guy of being a good person or smart.
Well, who I think's in danger, Peyton, is whoever is the old, washed-up used to be professional boxer who wants to come out of retirement to fight Mike Tyson.
Dude, isn't it Tyson Fury's dad?
Well, dude, I know Tyson.
Was that not a story?
That was a story, yes. He got on there saying that he wanted to fight Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson was saying something about Tyson Fury. I don't know, but there's been like reports of different, past fighters that said, hey, that they would be willing to fight, but nothing's set in stone. But whoever that may be is in for a rude awakening because Mike Tyson looks like he's in better shape than he was back when he was Iron Mike Tyson.
Yeah, dude, he looks good. Man, and that's what too. Wasn't he supposed to fight like a rugby player out of New Zealand? Wasn't that going to be like a charity fight too?
Yeah,
like,
it was going to be something like that.
But man, I mean, it's just so he's been training for sure. I mean, all the pictures have been coming out. Look at, I mean, dude, he looks fucking wicked. And like, I mean, the videos too. I will say this: I'm a little woke on I think his trainer does a really good job at making the pads pop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like, you got to time that right.
I get you. I mean, I do get you there, but at the same time, man, like his right hooks are. I mean, it's still potent.
Oh, I mean, he'd obliterate any normal human. Yes, I mean, for sure. But and that's why. And if it's another retired fighter, like I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
He's going to fucking wipe the floor with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, you didn't want to face Iron Mike in his heyday, and you know what I mean. Like it's just, oh yeah, shit, wasn't he? Yeah, they're talking about maybe redoing the Evander Holyfield fight.
Yeah, like I said, there's been him.
What's he gonna do? Bite off his other fucking ear? Like,
I mean, there's just. Oh, you motherfucker again!
Oh shit! Yeah, that would be that would be must watch television. That'd be the only thing to talk about for months.
So yeah, whoever is going to play, go up against him is who's in danger.
I gotcha. Which like I said, I hope it is Evander Holyfield. That would be fucking amazing. But all right, man. My no shit Sherlock for the week, Madison. Reportedly, the Boston Celtics are going to offer Jayson Tatum a max contract at the end of his deal this year. You fucking think? I mean, no shit. I mean, obviously he's going to fucking offer him. I mean, he's a top 3 player at his age. I mean, he's just like, he's the next big thing in the NBA. Like, I mean, people, when you talk about like the up and coming NBA players, you refer to him, Luka, and then probably Zion. You know what I mean? Like, as
Trae Young.
Guys, yeah, and Trae Young. Guys that are like 21 and under. Like, I mean, 22 and under. I can't remember how old he is now. But like, I mean, dude, of course you throw the fucking house at this guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. I mean, I'm saying, like, and I don't think he'll reach it, but his ceiling is like Kobe Bryant-esque. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he could quite get there, but he plays the same style of ball. Like, I mean, it's just, there's no way you let this guy get away. You know what I mean? This is one of the fucking, like, most blatant thing, like, blatantly obvious things that I think that, like, Danny Ainge is too smart not to do this.
Yeah. But he's also could be too dumb, Peyton.
You think? Like, why what would make you say that?
I'm just saying, man. What if he just is like, you know what? I thought we get somebody else.
I don't know, man. I feel like Danny Ainge has proved himself. The only thing I would worry about is if he tried to outsmart himself.
What if he gets Kyrie back?
Nah, I said no. I want nothing to do with that. I hope Kyrie's having a horrible day today.
Yeah. Well, my no shit Sherlock Payton is so the NBA electing to push back the Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement for this year's class back to 2021.
Yeah, no shit. Like, I mean,
you think that you really?
I mean, pandemic, guys.
Yeah, pandemic. I mean, come on now. They're pushing everything else back. They're pushing live sports back. You wouldn't think they would push this fucking thing back too.
Yeah, that's what. So, it does suck. At the same time, we're not seeing like the greats get inducted this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. again.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah. So, honestly, it'd be awesome to see him go in, but I'm not looking forward to that enshrinement.
No, because we all got to relive it again.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, you see shit on social media, all the time, like kind of reminding you about them. But like, that's what, like you said, when you have something that major, like it's going to be, well, fuck, even with the MJ documentary, when they had Kobe on that, you know what I mean? Like that was tough. And like, I mean, there's just going to be a lot of things between now and then where we're going to have to relive him dying. And like, I'm not prepared for it,
Yeah, I'm not either. And like, dude, like it's, and we talked about this when it first happened. Like, it's still hard for me to wrap my head around that Kobe Bryant's he's dead.
Yeah,
and that like we're not going to get a Hall of Fame speech. Like, he was supposed to be the guy that was going to live forever.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's one of these dudes like Bill Russell that you see it involved in the games, everything he was doing with the WNBA, like he was going to be around for hell. The detail show with ESPN, like I mean if you look right now on ESPN, like I mean most of the time that's what they're showing is episodes of detail that he did, and like it's just I mean it's just weird because like you said he was supposed to always be around, and I mean it's just and he's gone, and it doesn't still like you said doesn't feel. This has been a weird ass fucking year, man.
Yeah. It has, man. Too much shit going on.
I know. Like, I mean, that's just, yeah, fuck. This year sucks. Besides the birth of my son, that was cool. The rest of the year sucks.
Yeah. But, all right, Peyton, enough negativity. Take us to the viral story.
All right,
Take us to the promised land.
This one this is going to be a top 5 viral story for me. So we had this woman, Jenny Stejna from Massachusetts, Madison, 103 years old, beat coronavirus the other day and celebrated with an ice-cold Bud Light. That woman, like, dude. Like me and her, like I know, like people say they got a spirit animal, but she's my spirit person. Like we're the same human, just years apart.
Are you sure that like somewhere along the lines that she's not like potentially your great grandmother?
It's very possible. Like I mean, because like for someone to say like I mean, it was immediately over, and they said that I read the full article. It said that they were going to give her her favorite treat, which was a beer. And I was just like, man, like, I mean, that's what this woman, like, she's got my heart. And then that's what I've got a couple other quotes from the story. It said that her husband asked her if she was ready to die when she was sick. So she got diagnosed at the end of April, fought these, shit, I'm drawing a blank on the words. Fucking Madison, the shit that you're feeling, the complications is not exactly what I'm trying to say, but
the symptoms, yeah.
Fought the symptoms. Damn, that was a big brain fart on my end. But fought the symptoms for over a month. But anyway, her husband asked her during this whole time, which I mean, can't believe he's alive too. But he said, "Are you ready to die?" She said, "Hell yeah." But apparently, he's just too stubborn too. You know what I mean? Like.
That just goes to show, man, that like it's all about the genetics, dude. We have people that are like healthy adults that are dying from this stuff, and you have someone who is 103, 100 that has been on this earth for 103 years, and drinks a damn beer after beating the coronavirus.
Yeah, this is her second global pandemic. Like as far as like wiping thousands of people out, she lived through the fucking Spanish flu and now this shit, and then celebrated with a beer.
I mean, to me, I would feel like if I was her and my memory was still right, which it sounds like hers is.
Yeah, like, she's still very present.
I would think nothing could kill me.
Yeah, like yeah, at that point you're almost invincible.
Yeah, honestly, if I make it to 103 years old, and and kind of don't want to, but I'm just saying if I end up making it, if I make it to 103, man, at that point, well, shit, even 15 years prior to that point, I would feel like nothing can stop me.
Yeah, at 85, yeah. I mean, dude, for sure. I mean, that's what, like, too, they had another, her granddaughter said that the next day the nurse came in, like, to check on her. She said, I'm not sick anymore. Get the hell out. Like, I mean, I can't wait. That is one thing that if I do live to that age, I cannot wait to be a hateful prick, like, as an old person. You know what I mean?
Because, the only reason that they're irritable is because they're 103.
Yes. Like, I mean, that's what, and it's so funny to me whenever old people are, like, hateful as shit like that. I don't know why I always get so tickled at them. Like, I mean, if I had been that nurse, I'd have died laughing.
Oh, it's okay to be mad at them. They were born when planes were actually, paper planes.
That's what I mean. Before planes existed, like, I mean, the Wright brothers still hadn't fucking took flight yet. You don't even think about that. She's seen a lot of shit. But yeah, hats off to her. Like you said, man, some positivity in this world. Felt good to talk about this 103-year-old woman beating coronavirus and then chugging a beer. Like, good for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just fucking awesome. All right, man. Let's wrap this thing up. As always, typical fashion, Madison, we're going to do power ranking. We're going to power rank this week. It's a little specific, so I don't know exactly how to word it. But we had, Cameron Justice on this episode, so we're going to do it's basketball themed. We're going to do subtle, like the underappreciated skills of like playing basketball. So like obviously not like shooting, like layups, dunking, finishing at the rim, shit like that. Not that, but the, little nuances to the game that people don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I guess I'm more specifically talking about people that when I'm thinking about this topic, I think about going to play pickup ball and getting aggravated at people that don't understand the game better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So that's where I'm going in my mind with this power ranking.
Okay.
And in typical fashion, I have no idea who starts this one off. We're out of whack where we had the short episode last week.
Yeah, and that's on me. That's
on
me.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. Almost.
But I'm almost out. But I'm here.
Yeah, you look good though.
Yeah. So I think it was, dude. I think it's your turn.
Okay. Fair enough. Because I
think I went first last time. Yeah.
You know what? Big of you to say that because I would have cheated. All right, man. I'm going to say my number one, like, underappreciated skill is going to be, people that just know how to move without the ball. Like, people that, like, cut and, like, you know what I mean? Like, make movements and, like, I mean, because no one fucking understands that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, everybody's just like, if they are not dribbling at that current moment, they just fucking stand there.
Yeah. Yeah, or if you're trying to isolate a guy and you have that guy just stands right in the middle of the lane and you're like clear the lane, man. Like, what are you doing?
Move, motherfucker. Yeah, or like if you are driving baseline towards somebody, like float up to the foul line. You know what I mean? Like you drive in the middle, float to the short corner. Like, I mean, the guys, like, come on, it's not that hard,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what. So that might be like, maybe change the title of this to things we appreciate. Small skill. I don't know, dude. This is hard to word. Small skills we appreciate about playing pickup ball.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair.
So that's my first pick is moving without the ball.
Okay. Mine's going to be the one person, the guy who always, every single time down the court, comes and sets a screen for the point guard.
That's me. Every time. I will, in one offensive possession, I will set minimum 4 screens. And if you reject the screen, I will go to the other side.
Yeah.
Screen right, and then like you don't take it, I'll go screen left, baby.
You just do a hobble jog back to the other one, and then you plant yourself on the other end.
Yeah. And they're like, I didn't want that one either. I'm like, well, this is what you're getting.
Yeah. So the guy that comes and sets the screen he's usually it's a very active guy that comes in and sets the screen. And it's just literally, it's like that person can't wait to set the screen. As soon as they go across half court, they're wanting to set the screen on somebody.
Yeah. Oh, dude, high ball screens. That's the way to go. Like, No, what's funny too is like I will set off ball screens, and then like the guys that I'm talking about that don't know how to cut and move without the basketball, they'll like look at me like, dude, I'm not taking this. You know what I mean? Like, I was not prepared to cut right now, and I'm not going to.
Right. So.
It's a good pick, Madison. All right, so for mine, I'm going to go with this is kind of in the same vein as my first one. I'm going to go people that understand floor spacing. Like that is something that you don't see a lot.
Yeah, so basically kind of what we were talking about, like the guy just standing in the middle of like the lane, when the guy's wanting to isolate somebody and he's just kind of standing there in the middle. And it's like, dude, spread. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You see me dribbling towards you, go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that's what I don't understand. Is like people don't understand proper floor spacing. And I'm not acting like I'm a basketball genius by any means, because I'm a moron. But like I do know that much. You know what I mean? Like get out of the fucking paint if you've been standing there for 10 minutes. Like I mean, move a little bit. Like just floor spacing is important for lanes to be open. Like I don't know. That's one of my biggest complaints.
Okay. A good one, for sure. I mean, floor spacing is.
So people that understand floor spacing, second pick. That's definitely.
Mine is going to be is following up your shot.
Ooh, okay, that's a good pick. Yeah. Sneaky good pick.
Yeah.
I'm way too lazy to do that.
Yeah. It's following up your shot because you have those guys that do the whole like, shooting from 30 foot away, fading, expecting everyone else to get the rebound. But you got the whole like, and that kind of keeps the defender. If he's going to follow up a shot, it keeps the defender on his toes because you're like, well, as soon as he shoots this, man, he's got to run and go head start toward this. And probably 7 times out of 10, if the ball ricochets, it doesn't come right back to the guy. And,
but that one time.
But the one time, you follow up your shot. It means a lot, and especially when you see it on TV and you have some guy shooting a 3 and he follows up a shot and ends up getting the board. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, way to follow up your shot."
Yeah, man, that is an underappreciated skill. That was a good pick, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for my third one. Let's see here. I'm gonna say people that I'm gonna go with the people that talk on defense. Like I'm not one of those guys, but like those guys that are communicating, like hey, like pick left,
for
pick
the
left,
screen,
yeah. That's what the people that are talking about me going to set the screen, like those guys, like they're the glue that holds the team together. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like you got to be pretty assertive to be able to be calling out shit like that. So it's that's a small thing that goes very underappreciated because communication is key. I mean, you got to holler fucking switch. I mean. Pick left, whose man's? That's the only thing I say is whose man's. I don't know, because usually it's usually my man's, and he's standing over there wide open. But you got to talk, man. So yeah, that's my third pick is the communicator.
Okay, all right. And so your first one was about what was it again? I'm sorry.
My first one was people that move without the ball. Second one, floor spacing. Third one's the talker.
Okay. Mine is definitely, and this kind of goes hand in hand with it, but it's different, is understanding switching.
Yeah, that's true. People don't.
So, and that's what it be. And what I mean by switching is when you had someone that comes up on the pick and roll and they pick that guy, he runs around and understand that, hey, you have to switch onto that ball defender and not just go with your guy.
Right.
Like
otherwise, not just go to your both guy. Of us are going to be going with the roll guy.
Yeah, and then they just got a free pass, the guy cutting to the basket. Yeah. So mine's going to be switching, switching a defender.
Switching on ball screens.
Yeah, there you go.
I gotcha. All right, man. For my last one, I'm going to go with the dude that always makes your always finishes the the nice assist. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing worse than making a nice clean pass, especially if it's a behind the back or nice little bounce pass in the middle of the lane and everything, and they fucking blow the layup. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's an underappreciated skill is people that can finish at the rim, finish easy looks at the rim.
Yeah,
that's something people don't talk about enough.
That's true. I mean, because if you have a nice pass or something and they just completely blow it, you're just like,
which I have a tendency to do. Yeah,
I mean that's what I do mostly. Yeah. If somebody will feed me a nice pass where they look behind their back and I'm the only one standing there and I'm right under the rim and I just completely botch off the glass layup.
Dude, and I'm bad too. I don't know why. I will be mid play. I've literally said. Got the pass and be like, oh, good pass, and then missed the layup. I said it out loud to him as I was trying to go, hey, man, maybe focus. You know what I mean? It's my ADHD kicking in, but I don't know. Yeah, that's what. So people that finish a nice assist, I think that's an underrated skill.
Yeah. Okay. Mine's going to be, God, my last one. It's going to be maybe a tough one. understanding. No, not understanding. Mine's going to be the knowing how to run. If you're going to say, all right, guys, let's play a 2-3 defense, you need to know how to play the 2-3 defense.
So understanding a zone defense.
Yeah, basically understanding the zone.
Dude,
because it seems like this. It seems like any time that I play pickup basketball and you have that one guy, which, I know zone defense, but you have that one guy that says, hey, guys, let's play zone. And I'm like, guys, are we honestly because they want to play. Well, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Are we capable? Because usually the people who want to play zone are lazy because they don't feel like moving.
That's what I was going to say. That is 100% a suggestion I make every time.
Because they say
I just throw it out and I'm like, guys, 2-3, like a 2-3 zone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 2-3 works, but the thing is it's not. People just think, 2-3. I just get to stay in this area, and that's not how it works.
No, that's what the first rotation. Somebody's wide open every fucking time.
that's what I'm saying.
The first ball reversal, there's a dude standing there with no one within 30 feet of him.
You know what it is. You know what I'm talking about, man, and everyone else should know, because as soon as they, like you said, the first rotation, as soon as we suggest, all right, guys, let's play 2-3 zone, they break it up in a matter of 5 seconds. Yeah.
It's literally swing, ball reversal, there's a dude wide open, like every time.
And literally, our team or whatever I'm on will try that for 3 or 4 times, and they just torch it every time. And I say, let's go back to man, because because we haven't played pickup ball in 3 months. We've never been a team together, so we've never practiced 2-3 zone. So why do you think this is going to work?
We don't have anybody that'll talk. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. But I will say this: as a fat guy, that is 100% a fat guy move to be like, "Hey guys, maybe a zone." Like, and especially if you get a bad matchup, because there's nothing worse being a hefty fella and you get matched up with the dude who's like taller than you and faster. Yeah. And then you're just like, fuck, and then the whole game you're getting torched and you look bad.
Well, here's the thing. Even in a 2-3 zone is like somehow, some way, you end up getting a man-to-man matchup with that, because they throw it to the guy down low and the other lazy piece of shit on the right wing doesn't feel like coming down and helping. So you're still standing there in the center trying to guard the guy.
Yeah, and it never works out.
It never does, no. I like it, and so that's mine, is everyone understanding how to play 2-3 zone.
Yeah, that's fair.
And committing to playing.
Committing to the 2-3, yeah. That's a wild move, especially if you're playing full court, like just to be like, hey guys, fall back into 2-3. That's just.
Dude, we've done that so much, and then like sometimes you can get a pickup game where the guys you play with, and they know how to play, so it doesn't end up working, not too bad. But then you'll have those ones where the guy's like, all right, guys, so y'all want to play a 1-3-1, and I'm like, what? Like, no, what are we?
Trapped in the corners? What do you mean?
Yeah, dude, I haven't played in 6 months. Like my calves are on fire.
Yeah, do you think somebody's going to run the baseline on this team? Like,
yeah. The only, especially with like matchups, unless you get that guy that's like a marathon runner that just wants to constantly keep running and running. But for the most part, everyone is out of shape and they're just there just to get some exercise. Yeah. So you can play matchup 1-on-1 with them.
Dude, that's why I've always imagined this. Like, and power rankings over at this point, but we're just, going off on a tangent. But I've always thought it'd be such a sick fucking flex to be the dude that's in just so much better shape than everybody at the pickup game, and like everyone else is sweating, and you can just get wide open shots because you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be so cool. Like, I'll never know what that feels like, but that'd be so awesome.
Yeah. Well, just like you were talking about, that's me when they're throwing me this sick pass and I'm blowing the layup because I'm so out of shape and I can barely throw the ball up there.
Yeah, can you imagine having the lungs to like elevate on your like jump shot? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. As soon as they throw it to me, I'm at a set shot and it's barely hitting the rim.
Yeah. But yeah, man, damn, it was good. It turned out to be a good power ranking. Good episode, man. Yeah, so guys, hope you enjoyed it. It's another week, in the books. We're just at this point where we're like in a jail cell, just counting all, putting the little marks on the wall, counting off the days until sports comes back. So we're getting closer, guys. It's getting more real. I mean, hopefully we've done everything we can to keep it entertaining and keep you guys, laughing and having a good time. And in this, just kind of depressing shit ass world we're living in at the moment. But again, I want to say thanks to Camron for coming on and doing that interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to see other people, do interviews with us, let us know. Send us some suggestions. Those are always appreciated. And guys, just, thanks for tuning in with us. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast and check us out next week. Go follow us on all our social media at Bonfire Sports 1. And as always, you guys are the best.
Peace.